This 60-second breath ritual unlocks your magnetic field and has the power to create everything you desire. The important truth is that many people have an energetic field that is blocked, and these blockages prevent them from attracting the things that they want. But today I'm going to show you how you can access the full magnetism of your magnetic field in less than a minute. This is a ritual that I've been practicing for over 6 years, and over that period, it's helped me generate millions of dollars, attract my soulmate, and live my dream life. It involves using your breath in a very specific way to clear your magnetic field so you become a literal portal for lavish abundance. It essentially makes you a receiving machine. Let's talk about this. Your magnetic field is your frequency. It's always communicating with the universe. So when you're feeling feelings of anxiety, stress, and worry, your energetic field is blocked. But when you're in a calm, expanded, open state, your magnetic field becomes something that's able to receive all the things you want. And your breath is the fastest way to really open up the magnetic field. You're most likely familiar with breath work. It's gotten really, really popular over the last few years for a good reason, because it's very, very powerful. But most of the popular breath work practices around, they really focus on using the breath to create energized states of consciousness. Wim Hof is a great example of this. But you can actually use your breath in a more strategic way to actually create calm, deep, powerful states that will open you up to the power of receiving. And the way we do this is by strategically using breath holds. It's actually by strategically holding our breath, which allows us to do the things I'm talking about. Holding your breath has not only been scientifically proven to rewire your nervous system, it's also rooted in ancient spiritual traditions that have been passed down for thousands and thousands of years. So let's first talk about the science of breath holds. When you hold your breath, you train your body to tolerate higher levels of carbon dioxide, CO2, which is one of the most important aspects of nervous system mastery. When you can stay in a calm state while CO2 rises, you signal to your brain and your body that everything is okay, even under stress. This builds resilience, focus, and what elite performance coaches call energetic poise. Recent neuroscience research even shows that holding your breath, especially after you exhale, activates what researchers call the stillness circuit in your brain. This is the network that's responsible for deep presence, meditation, and that calm, focused awareness that you sometimes feel when you're in an altered state. So essentially, intentionally holding your breath can take you from a scattered and nervous and reactive state into one that is grounded and magnetic, which is quite awesome. And some of the most famous and powerful spiritual traditions that practiced breath holds included the yoga science of pranayama, the Tibetan practice of Tummo, and the Taoist practice of Mindon. Yogananda, probably the most famous yoga advocate, even said that when breath and mind are still, the door to cosmic consciousness opens. So modern science and ancient traditions both agree that when you hold your breath, you can get into the ultimate state of pure stillness and oneness. This also happens to be the perfect state for receiving. Not only that, but breath holds are one way of getting into the kind of altered states caused by psychedelics and plant medicine. For example, Dr. Stanislav Grof, founder of holotropic breathwork, has stated that the breath is a tool that can take people into non-ordinary states of consciousness, often indistinguishable from LSD experiences. So now I don't have any problems with psychedelics. Those are great tools for a variety of things, and if they call you, that's awesome. But it's also great to know that you have the ability to create powerful altered states simply by strategically using your breath. So before I walk you through the actual 60-second ritual, I want to give you a couple notes on how to actually breathe correctly. The most important thing here is you want to breathe in and out through your nose only. This is because nasal breathing activates the sympathetic nervous system to keep you in that calm, grounded, high-frequency state that we've been talking about. And it turns out that when you breathe through your mouth, it actually signals stress to your body. It puts you in that fight or flight mode, which is the exact opposite of the calm, magnetic state that we're trying to cultivate with the breath ritual. Okay, so I'm going to explain the ritual itself. I'm going to explain the steps, and then I'll demonstrate. So step one is you want to breathe deeply through your nose for about 4 seconds. Then you're going to Exhale fully through your nose. I recommend holding your nose, and then you hold your breath for really at least 30 to 60 seconds. And while you do that, I encourage you to repeat the following affirmation. I'm magnetic, I'm open, I'm receiving. I'm magnetic, I'm open, I'm receiving. And just imagine that you're in that calm state. Imagine that you're in a calm lake, for example. When it's too difficult for you to breathe, then you're just going to inhale, and then you are going to allow that energy to come back up, and then you're just going to exhale through your nose once again. That is the ritual, and I'm going to just demonstrate it for you right now. Now, before I demonstrate the technique, one other thing I want to point out to you is that you might get that first urge to breathe, a couple urges to breathe, and I really encourage you to stick with it and don't just breathe right away, because when we hold our breath and we kind of fight through that initial bit, it gets us in that more powerful grounded state, if that makes sense. So here's how we do it. And that's it. That is the 60-second breath ritual that will change your life. So one thing you can do is do this 3 times, especially in the morning or before you do any meditation or manifestation type work. That is really, really effective. This ritual is something that you can actually do. You can do it morning, evening, during your meditation sessions. It's also a great way to just reset before you might have a call or a work session, kind of anytime throughout the day when you just want to take a moment to reset. You can do it anytime because it literally takes less than a minute, as I just showed you. And the thing that's so powerful about this is that it clears that stuck energy, it opens that magnetic field, it gets you into that calm, receptive state and quiets that mental clutter really better than anything else. It really brings you into the now, which is where, of course, all of your power lives. So I invite you to do this ritual on a regular basis and watch the magic unfold. You don't need to do any plant medicine, which you can if you want. You don't need to go on a 10-day retreat. You don't even need to meditate for now. You just need 60 seconds and your breath to reach these transformational magnetic states. So just trust the process, do this, and watch how miraculous and magnetic your life becomes when you do this technique. So in my next video, I'm going to show you another technique that's going to upgrade your frequency even more. So stay tuned for that. In the meantime, please like and subscribe to this video. If this is your first time here, this is Ron Reich. Keep being awesome. Talk soon.